Happy time zone, everyone. Welcome back to the Silver Gauntlets, guys, gals, and non-binary pals. We have some league action for you. Division 8G with Cody Gnome up against Bread-kun. It's Benji back on the Silver Gauntlets. Delighted, as always, to be here and joined by another person who's come through the storied tracker to commentator pipeline, the one and only KLO.
Good morning, afternoon, or whatever. I'm glad to be here today for another League Seed. Hopefully this should be another good
You
one.
excited?
Of course, always excited for League. Especially when
Any
you've got
nerves
a brilliant
start. Any nerves about your debut?
What's the worst that could happen?
Don't say that. I mean, I know the commentator's curse isn't a thing. Right, I tell people frequently that the commentator's curse is not a thing, but don't give people any potential juice, as we're underway here, just waiting for Codename to get their stream rebooted and DMC start. Interesting.
Yeah, easy access to Kakariko, but with 3 hearts, it's definitely a good start with a hook shot that early.
Yeah, I'd say that qualifies as a good start, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, in terms of items that you need to beat the seed, hookshot's like one of the most important items. Frogs 2 is a free shield, so we're probably not going to be seeing that one.
It is a bit far out of the way to go for a shield.
We do start with one song. In this case, it's Saria's, so we've got Logical Forest access already.
Does make the logic easier. We also start with the Lens of Truth and Furore's Wind to even up the playing field for everyone. So
2 nice quality of life items. The only issue is that at the moment we do not have any magic to utilise those, but as soon as you do, you get a little bit of ease of movement with the random spawns and no prelude start. Having Furore's to dip in and out of dungeons when you get the magic isn't a nice touch, especially considering the extra quality of life changes that also come with using FW in the randomizer. Notably, the fact that you can set it as both adult and child, and it doesn't dissipate when you age change.
It is always useful, even if it only is to get used for damage.
Bread-kun is using custom music, as there's a bow from Rufio, and we can get that logically because Rufio is not in logic without a hookshot, but as you saw, we have a hookshot. And now a scale as well.
A lot of easy movement items right off the bat, and we're only 1 strength away from being able to complete Forest already.
That is a very good point, actually. Yeah, really good loaded start.
Not often
what have we got in the windmill?
Cavern isn't your first.
I've been so used to playing Blitz as well, where any excuse to get into DC, you take it.
Or Forest in Blitz's case. Although we won't be as lucky as we are in Blitz, you have to do the entire temple.
You do indeed. Bolero from the windmill, which slightly less useful for movement, given that we started in the crater and we got an early hook shot as well. But
yeah, but without the hammer or hovers, it starts you on the other side of the crater, which isn't really accessible for them at the moment.
It's all about I lost my train of thought. Hang on. Yeah, but it's nice to not have to save quit if you want to get back up to DMC quickly.
That's true. In the later stages of the game, you do know how elusive the hammer can be at times. It's one of the dungeons that often ends up being the final.
For league settings, it is 6 medallions gives you the boss key, but it is 5 medallion bridge. So it is possible to have necessary items inside Ganon's castle.
Didn't quite catch what that was in the box.
I think it's a recovery heart, just with Bread-kun's got the items match cosmetics on.
Darkish green.
Yeah.
I would just like to remind everyone that other cereals do exist.
As well as other whatever this is advertising. It's advertising a car company.
None of these companies are paying us, so please ignore these adverts.
We have Codinome up and running now, also doing the Dampe race, although about 15 seconds behind.
I would assume that would mean they have followed a very similar pattern. I wouldn't be surprised to see the next time he checks the menu that he does have the shot.
The only thing he hasn't equipped the hook shot, the hook shot yet, at any rate. But yeah, it doesn't mean that he did not pick it up. Nothing from Dampe this seed.
He's been hit with the camera change there. That's AOL have scuppered his chances of getting under a minute, but he should be fine.
I think he should be fine. This is so much smoother than I do, even when I have not been hit by anything. So I think he'll be all right. Bread going back.
Going for the rupees, I assume.
Oh, that's a good shout. Yeah, rupee farming to buy a shield.
Thought about it for a second, but decided against getting the shield. Once more, we have a race between Team Buy a Shield and Team Never Buy a Shield.
Where do you fall?
Where do I fall? My answer is depends on where I spawn. How easy is it to get to Kakariko? If it's easy, I usually don't buy a shield because I don't have enough rupees at the time.
That seems fair enough.
Yeah, if I've got 80 and I'm going fast, I always buy a shield. I guess Codenum did not get the hook shot. And it's safe quitting for it now.
Why walk all the way over there when you can just spawn above it? Bread, obviously, so Bread spawned in Kratos, so picked up the hook, but didn't cross over to pick up Prelude.
I don't know if there's any legal method to cross over bounce.
He's got a hook shot.
Oh, yeah, but you'd have to go all the way around Foreign City in that space. And how would you open the door? Doesn't have a bow or strength or bombs to...
Oh, can you not get round the other...
Oh, there's a hammer boulder down there, and hammer boulder is slightly above, so you can't actually jump over. Same way you can from Goron City side over. It's the way in vanilla they try to enforce you going through Goron City, so you can get the lore from Link Goron. Thing from adult shooting. It's always nice to get it's always nice to get bow and Kakariko early, so you can get the archery check out of the way, as it's awkward to pretend otherwise.
Yeah, it's, as you say, it's one of those checks that it's very easy to orphan and just forget about. Bread's going to go into river.
This is a play I
Get himself a few hints. There's obviously potential for items as well. You can get into domain if you want to.
He does have a shield, so if he knows the tricks, it shouldn't be too hard to kill the Octorok. He's got a bow to kill the Octoroks too, if he does want to get the item on the pillar.
Yeah, and logically he can get these items because he has scale, so he can get to river as child.
It is a very long way around, though, unfortunately. But no need for the tricks today, as that's a blue pea on the lower pillar.
You can see the two of them already.
The early
sorry, go ahead.
Also meaning routing skulls in easier.
Deku to Bongo.
first path hint of the race.
So we know that Shadow is going to be a required medallion dungeon.
I believe it's closed Deku in League settings.
It is, and oh, there it is again. So that is, I must admit, slightly alarming. Finding two path hints like that right next to each other, and with the first two path hints you find, you wonder maybe if it's double path, which is not something you want to see necessarily. Well, depends actually if the Kokiri sword is easily available, and if Deku is a medallion dungeon anyway.
Oh no!
Well, we're always going to have to go in there.
In League settings, if I see a double path, I'm always happy because that means Dodongo's Cavern is a medallion.
And DC to Phantom Ganon.
I guess we're going into Dodongo's Cavern one way or another anyway.
When I said DC, I meant Desert Colossus, the other DC. Why would they do this to me?
Yeah, I had to go and change the Custom Stones settings to separate the two.
So what do we think we're going to find out there? We know that it's not going to be the song, because we started with Saria, and so Bread-kun is going for Mido, skip, and nailing it.
Well, we already have the bow and the hook shot nice and early, so the only thing that can be there is either hover boots or strength 1. Most likely the strength.
You feel that it's a strength, yeah.
Yeah. You need a very specific key layout for hovers to be required for Horse Temple.
But you do see it.
And there's still perfectly likely that it is the song, and it's just the Song of Storms. Access to the well or the grottos.
Yeah, it's not direct for. It's not a song for access, but you're right that it could be a song for something else. Could it ever be Can Forest ever be Song of Time locked?
It can, but not now that they have the bow.
Gotcha.
The only time is if all the bows are locked behind some time, which isn't very often. I'd go for some very out of the way hints here, so hopefully this pays off for him. Dancing Dad is dead.
Well, Dancing Dad is Dancing Dead.
Too helpful when you started with Cerise, unfortunately.
So the only other Saria's check is Skull Kid.
Lost Woods to King Dodongo.
So we do have a KD path.
And that should mean we don't have any double paths, I believe.
I think so. I think that's how it works. If it can, it always prefers to hint individual.
Five dungeons will be hinted, and the only dungeon in these settings that can have no items is Dodongo's Cavern, I believe. And if Twitch chat is correcting me, I don't have it open at the moment, so I can't read them.
No one is correcting you. With a medallion start, it shakes out nice and easily, which is good. That means 5 medallions, 5 dungeons you can hint. Off you go. Also means that there's probably it follows that one bomb bag locks all the other bomb bags.
Yes, which as far as items locking items isn't too hard to see happening. Bombs locks a lot of the time.
Codenome going for Mido skip as opposed to Mido skip. Well is foolish. That's quite nice.
And that makes the Song of Storms a lot less likely as the path out there.
And there's your DC to Phantom Ganon again. Desert Colossus to Phantom Ganon. Why do they give stuff the same initials? And here is the best song in the game.
A nice
Not musically.
Zelda's lullaby there.
Yes, with starting with Saria's, and Icy Waters is dead. One of the things with League this season is there is a refined selection of sometimes hints. They've gone from what was quite a bloated selection down to 24, I think. Hang on, can I read this? Yeah, 24 sometimes hints now. I think the idea being that they're kind of a bit more useful, those checks that are a bit more out of the way, easy to maroon. And so far, both of them have come up with nothing. But that's good, because it means you don't have to worry about them.
And even with only 24 hints, there's still some in that pool I have never seen in a scene, so...
Which ones?
If the list in the tracker is up to date, I've never seen the Well Dead Hand before.
I feel like that's new for this season, maybe. They took a lot out, and maybe put 1 or 2 in. Red with almost a full forest kit is going to try and do as much as he can here. Unfortunately, no shortcut enabled. It's not Triforce Blitz.
There is a good amount of the dungeon you can clear. Entering forest without the required strength isn't too bad, as you can complete the entire courtyard, and it brings you back into the lobby again, so... It's not like you're doing areas of the dungeon you would already have to do, considering you need to pick up every key. And here we get our pedestal check, first of all.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah?
Thanks. Spirit, so DC, Forest, Fire are the Burning Pack medallions. Shadow Temple is the Spirit, so that gets us Lax along with the Shadow Medallion that we start with, and Spirit Temple as well. So that means our Stone Dungeons will be Deku, Water, and Jabu Jabu. So we will have to dip into Stone Deku to find what that bongo item is. League does have CSMC by the... Sorry, KLI.
As far as dipping into a stone dungeon goes, though, there are plenty worse to dip than Deku Tree.
Deku's probably might be the nicest. If you have to go into a stone Deku, then a stone dungeon, Deku's relatively quick to clear. The issue is going to be that it's a good chance that yeah, that's not going to be hinted. So more.
Matches contents and chest textures matches contents.
Do you want some more dungeons?
More dungeons?
We've got all dungeons.
We have all dungeons? Oh, was there a Zelda's Lullaby? What was the...
Ocarina of Time teaches the Nocturne of Shadow, and inside Ganon's castle is on the path to Twin Rover. So Spirit's going to be your last logical dungeon. We're going to have no idea.
It's a good thing I didn't say about, 20 seconds ago that it's nice not to have to worry about the long shots or the boomerang.
Or Ruto's letter. Yeah, this is... Tell you what, if you want to make your debut on a seed, you've got a lot to get your teeth into here.
It's fine, I can just blame Sadie's curse. It's not mine. Was that 30 or 20 skulls?
It looks like 20 to me. Uh, 30, 40 and 50 are always hinted. 20 is a sometimes hint, which we saw there.
On the plus side, as far as an all dungeon seed goes, having A, it clearly hinted, and B, clearly hinted at the Temple of Time. You know, if you're going to have to do all dungeons, you want to find out as early as possible.
Yeah, it makes it so much easier to route in when you know sort of what to expect. Like, okay, we are going to have to do all the dungeons. So as well as looking for the medallion items, I'm going to be looking for, as you mentioned, long shot, boomerang, Bruto's letter, Kiri sword, although we knew we were going to have to get the Kiri sword anyway. Yeah, you're getting it early enough that theoretically it should help your routing decisions. Although theoretically it's a lot different from... Yeah. Bread's going to go to the Temple of Time, so I imagine maybe he goes child here, as Codinome brings home the bacon, or chicken. Thank you very much. I will make a decent return on my 420 points gambled.
I'm regretting not having the chat open from the start. I didn't know there was a gambling going on. I'm assuming it was first to touch chicken.
It was first to touch chicken. It's a good gamba, I think.
It's always a scary gamba when they start as an adult.
Changes the game a bit.
Are there even any chickens in Evil Hyrule? Or has Ganon officially exterminated them?
That is a good question.
Maybe he's allergic. First decree after taking over. All chickens must be bonked.
Oh, that's a vanilla horse.
Even more movement options.
GCG's now logically available. And
The hookshot and a bow early, that's a lot of checks you can get in.
yeah, you can't...
Stop flirting with me.
Obviously, you can't get the... you can't move the Strength 2 block. You logically can't get the hammer locked chest, but well, who cares about logic?
Exactly.
Obviously, no toilet yet either.
Yeah, so if my counting's right, there's only 5 that you can't get to, depending on key layout. That does involve some key scumming to get around not having some time yet.
I believe you.
Is my voice any better now, Dastar? Unfortunately,
I mean, it's still Scottish.
they're retreading each other's grounds at the moment, so there's a lot of walking at the moment and not too much to talk about, unfortunately.
Yeah, just kind of going through the early game pathing of how do we route this in, going through the things like the Kakariko village checks, the market checks. Bread-kun now doing, I think, my least favourite check in the game.
Really? More than adult shooting? At least you know where all the rupees are coming from. As child shooting.
Yes, but I find the slingshot really unintuitive. I just can't get it down. Bread did not want to have to use that Deku stick, but missed the pot strats. Taking the old Valley Lake loop now. question here is, will the chicken betray him? Oh, you might need that. That is a hammer that we absolutely need. The Valley Lake loop pays off in spades. I mean, in hammers. But you get what I mean. Looks like a blue pea in the waterfall. And there's Icy Waters still dead.
There we go. I've got everything set up to 100 now. Coming through again, Benji?
It's definitely clearer on my end.
That's good to hear. Thank you very much.
Did you see Kodonome pick up the hammer?
I did note that it was in one of the 2 valley checks. Was it the crate or the waterfall?
It was in the crate.
It was in the crate. It's always the one that's requires the chicken first.
That is Skull Mask dead.
And that is the Ruto's letter check dead. Although they do have a scale, so that would be nice and easy.
It feels like it's one of those checks where there's never anything there unless you can't find a scale for love nor money.
Well, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, there was a seed that had the light arrows there and both scales in deep shadow, so it can be painful. Oh my god.
That's hilarious and also brutal. I think you're up to date with Bread, Dastar, with the exception of skulls.
I guess this seed is one more in favor of the Valley Lake loop. I know a lot of runners are not quite anti it, but say it's not a good strategy, but having that hammer Sphere 0 without any bombs, especially if bombs are, or is it somewhere in the Lost Woods? It could be behind a number of different requirements. Having that hammer early is definitely going to be useful as an adult.
Yeah, Bread's going to give us a look. Not going for the Valley Lake loop, but trying to check out where the child's spawn was. And it was right at the top of Zora's River, which is, honestly, a pretty hype spawn. Just slightly less hype when you get a nice early scale.
Being taught the song to chase away horses there.
I'm just waiting for the day when the Ocarina game legit just gives Serenade.
Yeah, it's the only one that can be played in these settings.
What's the betting that it's on the target in the woods, or one of the checks that we can't do yet?
Well, I'm getting the feeling with a Sphere 0 hammer, it's in one of the grottos.
It's not a bad shout, actually.
Which would be unfortunate, because it does mean you can't do it as a child, but... Or they could be there.
Or it's just on the Skull Kid and it's a bomb bag.
Even less of a reason to have a child river spawn.
I mean, we expected it to be the bomb bag, so that's good.
Oh, there's nothing worse than getting a King Dodongo hint, and it's not the bomb bag.
Also lovely to put the Zora's River Foolish in Zora's domain after you've trekked up river.
It is nice because it means you don't need to root in Frogs 1, and I have lost too many seeds to forgetting the frogs exist.
I've also black holed the frogs before, but that does mean I've got a dead square on my bingo board. which is less good.
I'm going for a slightly riskier torch strat here. I've never managed to get this to work. I can never backwalk off the waterfall properly. He gets it. First try.
He gets a big chest for his troubles as well. Now, will it be good or will it be bait? I'm thinking slingshot.
I mean, it's not hinted, so for all we know, it's the ice arrows.
Could be the nice arrows. Boom, baby!
I would just like to remind everyone that Benji does not actually have the spoiler log. He just has, apparently, latent psychic abilities.
I just picked the item with the most copies. We've already had a bow, and we suspect that one of the strengths is path. So, yeah.
Red leaving a present there for Mido. I think he forgot it wasn't Open Deku.
And good lord, loaded little domain. There's some magic for Codonome.
You always need to worry when you don't see Dora's domain foolish. It's foolish so many times that it's easy to forget to root them in, especially if Pluto's letter doesn't show up for hours at a time.
Blue fire bottle on 30. I don't know what I think about that.
I would be ignoring that personally, as you know it can't be part of logic. So, start prepping your King's Aura skip.
Bread-kun getting revenge on Hot Rodder for missing the game-winning kick in overtime last week. Not that I'm bitter or anything.
I do find it interesting that they're both rooted in one area that's awkward to root in normally. Codonome with Zora's Domain, Bread with Tiled Goron City. Unfortunately, only one of them's been paid off so far.
Yeah, and Silent was able to get the hammer from the Valley Lake loop as well.
I guess Bread didn't get the Darunia Foolish hint. Or forgot it. Could be either. Not a huge amount of time lost.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that he got the hint. So I just must have forgotten.
And that, I believe, was Requiem on Siria's song. Which is nice when you have Desert Colossus as a path.
Oh, I'd forgotten about Desert Colossus being path. And we suspect we're pretty sure that's not for the song. We expect it to be either the Fairy Fountain or on the Arch. In which case, if it's on the Arch, then yeah, you need to get that as Child. And with Spirit required, having access to Child Spirit nice and early is good as well.
Well, the Arch is in logic, but it is going to be awkward to... Oh no! Child River spawn actually pays out. Very easy bean exit.
Oh yeah, is an easy bean. Although with Saria's start, we do have the bomb bag to get in the bottom way as well. But yes, it's nice to not have to worry about that. Although I don't think Silent checks the child spawn yet.
The issue isn't getting into place for beans, it's more that without Nocturne, it's really annoying to get to, because you'd have to prelude and then walk all the way there, or swim there.
Nice choose as well for Bread.
With early bombs, not as useful, but we do know that inside Gan's castle does have something. So there is the possibility those chews will be required.
It's the Spirit Trial 2 chest that logically requires bomb chews. But I think you have those chews. But I think in order to have the chews, it logically expects you to have the bomb bag.
Correct. Any of the bomb chew packages you can find, you could waste. And the only way the game expects you to be able to buy the bomb chews is with a bomb bag.
Yeah, in child market.
Yeah.
Bomb bag, speaking of, there for Silent.
Almost a high five there. A number of different things. I've ended up.
I wonder with the desert. Sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I've finished.
I was going to say, I wonder with the Desert Colossus path, whether when Bread picks up Requiem, whether he goes straight there and has a peek. Silent's going to give us a little look now.
Another ominous jingle for a new heart container from Bread there. And the song is Song of Storms. That
you were saying?
That could very well be Path. Even if Bottom of the Well is foolish, that is two different checks that could have our first strength, or others. Or the strength
there are
is on the fairy, or on the arch.
Yeah, there are two bomb grottos, two storms grottos, that's what I was supposed to say, in Kokiri Forest and in Death Mountain Trail. There's the repeat of IGC to Twin Rover. Is that boots?
Those are boots of some kind. Are we gonna see a hover
boots? Are they?
I couldn't see the bottom of the shoes. They're a bit too low down to peek. Whatever it is, they will be required. Whether that's for Forest Temple, Water Temple, or Addo Temple, we will be picking those up.
Yes, that's true. With Shadow and Medallion, you absolutely need hover boots. We know we need to do stone water, so iron boots are logically required, even if not actually required.
And I know we do joke that the iron boots are DLC and are not required, but when you don't have the gold scale yet, we will go out the way to pick them up.
Oh, I absolutely pick them up. If you know they're there, I think it'd be a little bit churlish not to. Bread's going to check out Child Spirit here. Yes, that's true, actually. I've forgotten that we knew about Icy Waters. But it also means you can cheese the lab dive if you want to.
And the Tektite Grotto.
Oh, yes, the Tektite Grotto.
So there's plenty of use for them.
Can't remember who, but I was watching someone do it, and they literally last location to the Tektite Grotto. There were 0 other overworld checks, and it's like, it's such an easy one to miss.
Yeah, if you do the rest of your field checks early without a way to get to the bottom of the pool, it is easy to put off and then never get round to. There's a number of checks like that in the game, unfortunately. Sometimes they have Rito's letter or whatever it is you need.
Nice chew set up there for Bread, who does not have the the slingshot that Silent picked up in Zora's Domain.
Oh, but as you said, who does need logic? Bomb shoes.
I feel like we've got a command for this. That's the one. Not even once.
Thank you, I was letting you have the honours.
I appreciate it. That's the key to a good comedy partnership. It's always
And 2 keys on the child side, so this seemed like it was most very likely to have been required for them to hit here. Even if it is going to be a very long time until we finish off Spirit.
Yeah, we need 2 strengths and a mirror shield.
And one of those is going to be inside Ganon's castle.
You hate to see it.
Here, if I were playing the odds, I'd be saying it's the mirror shield in there. But I've seen more complicated paths resolve themselves inside Ganon's castle.
Yeah, it's often not very fair. Starfall, we've also had 20 holes. 20... I'll put my teeth back in. We have also had 20 skulls hinted, and it is nothing as well. But the Spectre of 50 does loom over the seed.
Yeah, but it can't possibly be that mean, can it? All dungeons and 50 skulls?
I mean, it absolutely can.
Yeah, you're 100% right. And Bread gonna be the first person thinking about those beans?
He's thinking about those beans.
I guess we'll find out which they were sooner rather than later. Only buying a single pack though.
He's just gone for the 1 bean. I mean, he knows that he doesn't need the 1 for the graveyard. The peak the crater as well.
And they
Doesn't
have a hook shot for the lake.
And obviously doesn't care about the river or anything else, so fair enough.
Although, has any of them touched the scarecrows? I can't remember if you need to touch the scarecrow.
Silent set child scarecrow, not been back as adult yet.
Thought I saw someone
speaking
to a scarecrow, but I don't remember if both of them had.
What do you use as your scarecrow song of choice?
C right and A repeated. Get that nice clashing triple.
So because I use an analog stick that doesn't have notches, I go for the nice spinny one. It's a lot more satisfying to me. It's worse, but it's a lot more satisfying. My casual playthrough used the Goron's Lullaby.
It's the only good thing about putting the D buttons on the C stick. And getting to have a spinny scarecrow song. Everything else about it's worse, but...
No, unless you have a proper notched controller. Which I don't, because it doesn't recognise my USB GameCube controller, and I'm very upset about it.
Yeah, I just only have one controller. The Mad Cat's Xbox controller I found in a drawer 12 years ago, so...
Huh. Nice. 0
notches to be found.
So Bread's now doing their child domain checks, which we know will be very useful. Codinome's trying to get the broken Deku stick set up.
Now, what is interesting to me is if those boots on the Desert Colossus are the hover boots, then we are running out of required items. Actually, no, completely ignore me there. I was about to say we're running out of required items for Shadow Temple, but there could be Ruto's letter, there could be the boomerang, there could be the long shot in the Deku tree, and all of those would be path to Bongo.
They would. It all depends on where Din's fire is.
It's just unfortunate that all of the items for Jabu, all of the items for water, and all the items for Shadow are all the path to Bongo Bongo. We need those stones to get Nocturne.
And that is true, yes. 100%.
Which means that one way or another, Boomerang or Din's Fire isn't going to be hinted. Those two are some of the most awkward casinos.
Spirit is logically long shot locked. With a key on the child side hand.
Well, you know that's not going to be the path to Twin Rover at least. Long shot.
No, because we know that we need that to beat water to get our Nocturne of Shadow. Bread's doing the lake, but they didn't swing by Valley first, so I wonder if they come and pick it up on the way round.
Chat, as always, coming in with the most interesting logic quirk there, of the hover boots being the path to Phantom Ganon, or the first logical strength on the Floor Master chest.
Oh my god.
Which I think is
it's just gonna...
1 in a million chance. But it could happen, and I hope it does now.
Yeah, there's certainly an element of Murphy's and Sod's laws in playing Rando, isn't there?
It's never a jet until you're in go mode. Saying goes. It got the bean first, but Codenome is, I believe, the first to plant it. Or is that 0 on the file for bread? Yes, it is. I completely missed him planting the bean.
Somehow so did I.
Oh, we're getting back of lake hints now. Or only one of them.
Love it.
Skull Mask is dead.
Why would you do one and not the other?
I'm not too sure. It's something that I often do. I only do that one as a child if I have Serenade. Because then when you warp in as an adult, you can go via the other two. But yeah, it's going to be a bit awkward to put the other two in unless Serenade shows its face. Basically, the other two are easier. The other two are easier as an adult because you can backwalk, which makes going between them faster when the water's gone.
Oh, quick! Get your treasure chest game in chat. Ruto's letter, long rock. No, both of mine have gone. Done.
You're just going for the opposite of me. One of us will be gone immediately.
Oh, yeah. I did it deliberately to enchant. I thought Silent was going to go and pick up 1 rupee on purpose. Alas. Frogs 2 still dead?
Oh, it's only a normal bot. But it's still nice to have. There's 1 Storm's Grotto down for that Summer Storms.
I'm surprised he's not going to get the target in the woods unless he picked it up earlier.
And as chat pointing out, that Storm's Grotto meaning the 30 skulls cannot be fired.
Nothing on bomb tube bowling, which is sad.
It makes me very happy to see because I can't do bomb tube bowling.
I love bomb tube bowling.
And we are getting the treasure chest game, so who will survive out the 2 of us first? It will be you.
Get in there. Once again, England rules superiority over Scotland. We're getting double.
Oh, we're getting a second.
Double.
Can I pull this back? Can I pull this back when he does when the next person does treasure chest game?
Oh.
You've got the 1 in 8. Or 1 in 16. Com's gonna win. Is this gonna be rigged? Ah.
Never lucky. I'm sad now.
It's skipping the treasure chest game. Not gonna bite him, but that could well have done.
Dastar, you don't have to be so happy about me losing.
At least you got a reaction. He didn't feel anything when I lost.
You lost so early. Wasn't any build up to it. It's like you can't laugh at people when they get knocked out of the World Cup if you don't qualify for the World Cup.
Yep. That's why I still support Scotland.
It's coming home. I'm telling you now, getting it out there nice and early.
One day it may come home.
I mean, to be fair, it did come home this summer, so you know, all good. I'm happy now.
Yeah, I was in a caravan in the Lake District during the Euros finals, so not being able to go buy milk because everyone in the shops was at home watching the football.
I mean, if you're going to be somewhere that you can't buy milk, there are less spectacular places to be.
I mean, I'm worried at the moment because I've got only about 2 cups of coffee worth of milk left, fridge, and Queen's funeral. Everything's shut tomorrow, and we're getting to Dongo's Cavern.
Oh yes,
a completable dungeon that I believe was Path, wasn't it?
it was. Yep.
Oh no, it was Desert Colossus that was Path. Just DC.
Oh right, yeah.
Wrong DC.
Yeah, sorry. I'm seeing the other end of it. Like, yes, we've had the path hint for it. 50's dead.
So, at least there's that small grace. 10 is the maximum number of skulls required. I don't know if anyone's gone to. I don't know if Bread's gone in to turn those 12 skulls in yet.
Don't think I saw any. I don't think I saw him do it. That didn't. Well, I guess that wasn't big. I find it a lot harder to tell whether they're big or small when they don't have the textures on as well.
Yeah, for now, Beak still uses the classic chest textures. Haven't moved to the pretty gilded chests yet.
I want them to find a mix of, because I don't like the new small key textures. So I want the old school key ones with the new big gilded chests. Here's Johnny.
There's BenjyRees love there.
Always zooted safely, etc, etc.
Etc.
Nice bat flick up the stairs.
I'd completely forsaking skulls now. I believe that's all of the hints picked up, rather than just the restream knowing all of them.
Oh, was there a gamble that I missed?
Oh, he was
there was.
scared by the bats.
Oh.
They are very intimidating. They are on fire.
So unnecessary.
Some trouble with the stairs there.
Backflipping. Cooler and easier. May not apply to real life.
I guess it really depends on how many stairs you need to go up.
I mean, I'll be honest. Given that I can't backflip, I'm not sure it does matter.
Easier to backflip going downstairs. They only do one ever. But
Yeah, to be fair, I've done that unintentionally a fair few times.
and the light arrows, those will be required. Does take a lot of weight off your shoulder later on in the seed.
That's
You haven't shown up yet.
nice to find.
Just walk over there, Bread. There we go, he gets the swag. He gets the trick shot.
If you're ever struggling to line up the bomb throws, if you walk towards the big head and you throw it when the bridge is kind of at the point, then you'll always nail it.
And if you're struggling to line up the bomb throws with the Goron pot, then good luck. The rest of us do too.
Yeah.
No, I believe going to be the first person to check this final Storms Grotto, so we'll see what the Master Phantom Ganon is after all. And a big chest on Bread's side. It's the boots that are path. Boots are path.
And also, that is nice arrows located, and that is lollipops then. And King Dodongo jamming to a little bit of Phoenix, right? I like it. Sadie, the lights were also in Dodongo's cabin.
It's were on the bomb bag chest.
By the way, this reminds me that I really need to get back to playing Phoenix, right? This just added to another to put on the list of games that I really need to complete, and I'm doing less important games instead.
And Dodongo was hoarding a wallet. I don't know if it's particularly necessary, but it is always nice to have that extra money stored in case you do need to go.
I mean, we do need to do Fire Temple.
Exactly. And with only starting with 3 hearts, that's not a huge amount of time unless you start opening small chests, and neither of them have done so far. Sometimes you see runners opening small chests up until they reach a certain number of hearts, just so they can do Fire Temple without needing a tunic, but...
Yeah, or they'll wait until they find some bomb chews. Something like that. Oh, hello.
Another big chest in Kakariko. And there's Din's Fire. The number of things that can be in the Deku Tree narrows by the minute.
Good point.
I'm assuming at this point it's going to be a Jabu item that's in Deku Tree.
Yeah, so the dungeon reward is never the path item.
Correct.
But it could well be, as you mentioned, something to get us one of the other dungeon rewards. And at this point, it does feel like it will be either Longshot or Boomerang slash... whatchamacallit? Bruto's Letter.
Do note that nobody is... now that they've gone adult.
By the way, happy 1 hour.
Happy 1 hour, everyone. I would appreciate if someone else would do the commands, because I don't know them.
Okay, so first of all, there is a new gambit you can get up. Who's going to find our Kakiri sword first? So you can go and spend all your points with that. But after you spent 50 points thanking the trackers and everyone involved, our runners today are Codenome Silent and Bread-kun. It's the underscore versus the hyphen. Tracking for us today are Melqui and Dastar. I'm on comms with a wonderful debutant in KLO. Sadie is our restreamer today, and I highly recommend you go and follow everyone involved for interesting Zoota content. I say interesting Zoota content because I was going to say excellent Zoota content, but I've seen my Zoota content and it's not very good. But generally, there are a lot of good people involved, so it's well worth following everyone there and sending them your thanks.
And there were 2 songs in that short amount of time from Bread there. Very quick in succession. Song of Time in the Composer Grave and Serenade on the Prelude check. So unfortunately that Forest Medallion not coming in too much use. Although it will help with creepsing to the Water Temple later on.
I'm also really annoyed because I had a thing that we were going to do when we found Song of Storms and I completely forgot. So let's pretend that we've just come out of Desert Colossus for the first time and I can do the Song of Storms thing. There you go.
That's beautiful.
I got a little Song of Storms music. It is the Hover Beats as we expected. Yeah, I got a Song of Storms music box for my birthday. I'm very happy with it. Here's DC for...
It would help.
Which is good. What was that, sorry?
No, I just forgot to unmute myself when I took a drink. But yeah, it's a lovely little music box. Can you do the... does it allow you to do the sped up version for after the windmill goes crazy?
Hang on, I'll get my wrist warmed up. There you go.
There we go. Perfect. You can do every variation.
Bread's reversing.
Well, he does have hook shot and a bow. That's a good amount of Oh, checking the wasteland.
Well, while you're here,
Yeah.
you should never check the wasteland.
This time. Well, if he had to go Requiem to get the hover boots anyway, then it is faster for him to go this way. GTG, presuming that's where he is going. But it is in logic, and he does have most of the items to... He does have the items required for most of the checks. Having picked up that
especially with...
time, he's on the right-hand side of the maze as well.
Yeah, it's a good density play here. You can pick up the Gerudo Fortress checks as well, the roof, and HBA.
Exactly, you can clear out a large amount of the Gerudo map straight away, and you have Furor's Winds as part of League to leave in GTG for later.
That is a very good point as well. I'm just going to disappear for one brief second.
It's okay, I'll man the fort. Gnome's just retracing Red's steps already, so that he will be picking up his light arrows soon. I don't believe there was anything else in Dodongo's cavern, though, other than the red-fired medallion. And a smooth Gerudo flight for Bread there. That trick can be... It can backfire on you often if she doesn't jump into the right position. Though they do have plenty of Deku nuts to assist if it does fail. I do like this Gerudo Training Grounds play. You don't have access to many of the paths that have already been hinted, so this is just a high density play that has a good chance of giving you something that you need. If not the Kokiri sword, then, well, there are plenty of items that it could be. Her shield is likely inside Ganon's castle. We do not have any back archery hints. We do have a horse, and we do have a bow. And we do have logical access to the valley. Both of them showing off swag for being on Restream. If you're gonna do it, you might as well do it when everyone can watch. And Bread doing the peek very quickly there, too fast for me to see how many chests were big in the maze. But we do have the center chest is small. I guess not enough of the chests were big for Bread's liking. Is him leaving for his wind to leave, or... Oh no, he's just doing a time-saving strat for later. Doing it in the lobby for when he needs to come back.
Did I miss anything?
No. Codename is just getting to King Dongo now. Bread hasn't found anything so far in the Gerudo Training Grounds, and he checked the maze too quickly for me to see how many big chests there were in it. I'm awful at peeking these anyway.
Yeah, it's even harder when you don't have the gilded chests.
Exactly. When you're watching on a restream, it's easy for the chests to blend into the brown brick wall.
100%.
Red has gone straight for the left side, or hasn't done much of the right side of training ground at all. I guess he's going for as many checks as possible rather than playing the density. But this is the way I usually go through the training grounds as well. I don't want to come back, so do as much of it as possible straight away.
Yeah, I always go left first, but that's because I just prefer to go clockwise. No logic behind it.
Yeah, going right side first if you've got the Song of Time, I believe, is a higher check per minute. But if you then have to go and clear the entire place, it means you're going to be crossing over halfway through. If you're doing all of it, it's faster to go left side. If you're just looking for one or two things, it's quicker to go right side.
Bread is not picking up those keys, so I guess he didn't see anything he liked in the maze.
The Song of Time, he doesn't need to worry about keys to get to the right-hand side of the maze. What I do wonder is if he is counting those keys. I know I wasn't.
I've seen at least 2.
I haven't seen many keys, I could say that much. It was a little concerning if anything is locked in any way. That could play havoc with our logic. And 10 hearts was nothing. 10 hearts, 10 skulls, nothing. Don't think we're going to reach 10 hearts this time in a League Seed. Bread got the Song of Time right after Dodongo's Cavern because it was in the Composer's Grave. Straight to the graveyard, then preluded to get the Serenade.
Yeah, we know where our
in a whole lot of nothing.
Pretty much. We know where our Nocturne is, and we know. Ooh, just about got that. Yeah, we know where our Nocturne is, and we know that it's on Zelda's Lullaby. No, not Zelda's Lullaby. Song of Time. So we're only missing 3 songs that we know about at this point. Minuet, Nocturne, and we know where that is. And the other one? What's the other one? Sun Song. None of which... Well, I'm going to say none of which we logically... neither of which we logically need, but who knows if there's something in the Sun Song Grove.
And Minuet is always a pleasant thing to have. And it looks like if Bread can get this set up right, he will be noticing where his hammer is. So he won't have been punished too much for skipping the Valley Lake loop. Has this setup worked? There we go. Very smoothly done.
How's he pick it up?
Your child.
Do you
as
have
far
to,
as I'm aware.
Can you get over to... I think you're just about to explain what I was going to ask.
If you have a long shot, you can come to the crate if you reload the area. I don't believe you can with hovers. I was mentioning recoil strat that I've never even seen, so it sounds like it's going to be hard, awkward, and doesn't even skip any logic.
In terms of hints that we're missing, we still need another path hint, a path to Volvagia, and we also still need a couple of sometimes hints. But we've seen all our always hints and all our foolish hints.
One thing we can say about the path to Volvagia is we've got the hammer, we've got bombs, we have hover boots, and we have a bow, so the only thing that can really be a path to Volvagia is Valley.
Yeah, it's either that or it's a tunic, which funny.
Unlikely as we have the wallet. It could be path. It could be the wallet is path.
I'm gonna stick with my TCG from earlier.
Yeah, I'll stick with mine too.
Rip. You win this round. Oh.
Got 1 in 4 at least. I'm calling it a victory.
Oh. Oh! Don't you dare go one better than me on your debut. Get this guy out of here.
What can I say? It's just my latent psychic abilities kicking in.
Right, I saw you nail a bet on Scrubs recently as well.
It just works. Left, right, left, right, left.
Oh, Dastar beat me to it, and thus takes themselves off 69 subs.
RIP to 69 subs, but thank you very much, Dastar.
What you need to do now is just donate another 350 to get back to the next funny number.
Your only option.
Although fans of the Mexico City Wild Wings will tell you that it's 118. I'm now looking at my bingo card, seeing what else we've got. No, it's not going to be a good seat for me.
Trying to root. Odinum's following his footsteps into GTG, which does make sense, but unfortunately he will also find very little.
Bread must be, having seen the hammer, he's going to go and pick that up.
Of course, yeah. Odinum doing the graphical trick to highlight the flags, because it is awkward to see. I think it is nighttime for him as well, which makes Wasteland even worse.
So how does this work?
Something to do with going in and out of the sort of dark zone in the shrine in the middle. I don't know exactly what it is. I think it's something to do with the layering of textures. Either way, it highlights the objects. You can also see it when you go from Goron City into the Lost Woods, where everything's sort of dark and cloudy. It's the same graphical problem.
I think, by the way, Bread got themselves a very good deal, picking up a very nifty pair of iron boots for a low price of 10 rupees.
$10 for some DLC.
That's about what you pay for the DLC for Breath of the Wild.
In this day and age, there's not much DLC that's only $10.
So true. I'm trying to work out what the last thing that had paid DLC that I enjoyed was. And then I remembered that actually I really liked the DLC for Pokemon Sword Shield, so I went back in my box.
A big chest in Isolated Grotto. Could be... And it's a strength.
Well,
the
that's
dream
good.
of strength in Forest is dead, but it does mean we know the key layout of Forest already.
And it means we can now full clear it.
Exactly, and I wouldn't be surprised if that's Bread's first stop after going Adelman.
Yeah. I've heard good things about the Breath of the Wild DLC, but I didn't even play the vanilla game, so I will make no comment.
I've owned Breath of the Wild for about 2.5 years now, and it's sat in a drawer because I've never got around to playing it.
There's just like so much of it. I was like, I can't do this. Also, and this is very important, I really suck at this sort of thing, so, nah. Where's Silent going? I wonder if he's going to do the field checks now.
He'd be checking Hammer Rocks, but I don't think he went very deep into GTG. If at all, I think he might have just left Furor's Wind in it and failed.
Yeah, maybe that's the strat.
I didn't notice him in there at all, so...
go in, have a peek, leave FW if you need to, and off you go.
Does beg the question though, where is he going next? Into
My biggest
Hylia.
problem with the Pokemon Sword Shield DLC was that they had a place named the Isle of Armor, and they spelt it the American way, despite the fact that Galar was based on the UK. Terrible.
Fourth Blade. Refund. I'm having issues with remembering his Scarecrow song, I guess.
Songs are hard.
Yeah, he's hitting the keys too fast. Freeform jazz. That Scarecrow song. Gnome should be the first to do the rest of the big checks. Will he do the rest of South Hyrule after?
And since we're doing adult fishing, I'm going to ask the question that's on literally nobody's lips. Oh, there's no money! That wasn't the question.
One short.
The question was going to be, when is someone going to add highly and low, which is a check in random?
I think I've only ever caught it once. Only ever once.
I don't think I've ever caught it. But I just want someone to see it in like one of those horrible max setting randomizers. Bread-kun, by the way, obviously
Link's cow.
Not a fan of Majora's Mask. Link's, that would be a good check actually. Having to beat the obstacle course at Lon. And there is the enormous rupee.
It's an always hint, if I remember right, in most cow sanity settings. This cow becomes an always hint.
I mean, you know what? Fair.
It's very fair.
Other good facts about adult fishing, if you didn't know, you can actually fish off the guy's bandana and show that he's bald.
That would be mean. So, can't recommend you do it.
It's funny though.
I did not say it wasn't funny. Showing off a smooth bomb jump there. And even more magic. Adult fishing.
Wait, that's not Shadow Temple.
I know, frankly, I think that it should be revalidated. As we all know, if Shadow is required, Magic 2 is in Shadow.
Also, by the way, they were not happy with with that being magic.
It's not too bad to have. It's going to be, even if they did have to spend time farming rupees, it's going to be nice. With Spirit Temple is the last thing you do before going to fight Ganon. Having the extra magic when you might be running a little low and are worrying about having light arrow magic for one cycle. Because when you do get to Ganondorf, you get a health refill, but you don't get a magic refill.
I did not know that. I assumed you just refilled both.
Oh, and I can tell you, I thought that too up until I went there without enough magic for a light arrow. And it is somewhat stacked. That's the other Water Temple entry there for Code Gnome.
And now you can do legit lab dive.
Legit lab dive, and even more painfully, get the 20 rupees from the bottom of the lab, which would have been very handy when he was farming about 40 seconds ago.
And he can say hello to Baby Shark's cousin while he's down there.
And there is Bread getting the fabled Hover's locked key. And that is our path fulfilled to Phantom Ganon.
It feels like you've been done a little bit dirty when it's Holler's path for one key. But given that we needed to go to Shadow anyway, I think you let it slide.
Hey, we didn't get a slingshot path to King Dodongo this time, so...
A what?
Slingshot path to King Dodongo.
How is that even possible?
Because they're, you know, in the room where you jump, the vanilla bomb bag is, where you jump to the pillar as an adult.
Yes.
If you are a child and you go through the door, there is a golden eye target that you need a projectile to get through. So there are cases where either a bow or a slingshot is your path to King Dodongo.
Oh my god. I don't think I've ever seen that, actually.
I've never seen slingshot path to King Dodongo, I have seen bow. Because the bow locked all the other bows and all the slingshots.
That's insane. Sorry, Black Ashes, there's the bad news. It's an all dungeon seed.
I mean, it's good news because he's in the chat.
Yeah.
Bad news for everyone else.
At least we found out nice and early.
Good news for the chat, it's bad news for the trackers, it's bad news for the runners, and it's bad news for me because my dinner's still waiting in the oven for after this race.
And it's bad news for me because it's going to be past my bedtime.
That's right.
He lied.
We've got a busy day of mourning lined up tomorrow.
Oh my god. Oh, actually, to be fair, there is a lot of stuff going on in the country tomorrow morning. Stuff that I'm not a part of, but generally I feel like it's probably a pretty big morning in Britain.
Yeah, I'm gonna go outside and take more pictures of birds.
That sounds like an excellent plan. Have we seen DMT fairy? Oh no, I mean sorry, DMC. Well, either of the fairies in there.
I don't believe we have. I see Mel in the chat there saying that this is my fault as I asked what's the worst that can happen. And I would like to remind everyone that no matter how bad it is, it can always get worse. We don't know where Richard's letter is, we don't know where the boomerang is, we don't know where the long shot is. All of those are required before we even get into Shadow Temple, so it can always be worse.
Yeah, at least we've not got, you know, the classic where the hell are light arrows or something.
Exactly. I was about to say we've not got too much of a worry about the what's in Light Trial, but we do have an inside Ganon's Castle hint. Path.
So actually we might have to worry about what's inside Light Trial.
Do. Is mini-boss theme here from Bread?
What theme is it?
It is Tetris A. Silent picking up his strength 1 as well, so hasn't been... Did he pick up his in Isolated Grotto as well?
He did, yeah.
Yeah. So it is good. That is a very easy check to orphan last location. It's called Isolated Grotto for a reason. You need to walk or ride a horse a good amount of time to get there.
There's only one queue that I'm interested, by the way, and that's the Wimbledon queue. It's the only queue worth reporting on. Sorry, KLO, I cut you off.
Oh, that's okay. I was just going to say that out of all of the seeds to Isolated Grotto in, they've been to the well a number of times. They've been to the valley at least twice. So, it's not like they haven't had the opportunity to root in Samurai Room.
By the way, we're just seeing Bread go through forest and do the pose. That is Lee and Anthony down. And we still have Duncan and Simon to go.
And anyone with a bingo card open, this is Double Forest.
I like forest.
And let's be honest, it's worse Shadow Temple.
It's better Shadow Temple.
I mean, you can argue between Forest and Shadow, but you can always say at least it is Jack.
Anyone for
Getting
chess?
into the last 3 checks. Checks are always items, so this is the only interesting part of Forest Temple.
But it's so atmospheric.
Putting them with a quarter of a heart in the Stalfos room.
Thank you for the burp report, Jax.
You appreciate it. Always a highlight of Double Forest.
I actually haven't seen... So my garden's usually good for birds, but I haven't had any today, really. Although Posh Cat did make an appearance this morning, which greatly pleased me.
You've got Top Cat in your garden.
Well, like, recently, a very posh-looking cat has decided that it likes coming around our house, which, you know what, I'm very much in favour of.
I guess we know why you don't have any birds in your garden anymore.
Yeah, I was going to say there probably is a correlation. Thank you for the raid, by the way. Greatly appreciated. Welcome in. It is some League action for you. We are currently about an hour and a half into a good old-fashioned all-dungeon seed. And actually, because we've gone an hour and a half without missing a unique always hint, I will take that off. And with Duncan down, that is Simon coming up now for Bread, and they'll finish that, and then we'll be into the bottom.
There are not 5 members in that group.
No, there's only 4 members of Blue. I mean, I've no idea.
I thought you were listing 5 there.
Oh, I definitely do not know the names of 5. I will. That much I will admit. I need to think of some new foursomes. I've already done the Beatles. That's Blue. I can't. So I need to think of something else. I might go for the famous 5 next time. And yes, I know that that's a 5-some. I'll just make Phantom Ganon, Timmy the dog. That'll work.
So it had been a long debate which one of them was Timmy the dog. See, this is why we need to enable the Forest Temple shortcut. Every time there's Double Forest on screen, the chat loses its mind. Like,
Yeah, this is the best bit.
for anyone
By the
watching
way-
the restream, they are currently discussing whether birds are real.
I cannot believe that the birds are not real, they're electronically operated. It's a genuine conspiracy theory. Surely there's no one that believes that.
Yeah. I mean, birds are real. It's only about, you know, a third of them that are electronically operated. Red is doing Phantom Ganon with hook shots to conserve some of his 29 arrows.
Some people just prefer it this way.
Oh, and he has paid for his hubris.
I assume the reason he's going for the hook shot is because you kind of, on the third one, you can kind of trap it and get the 0 cycle.
Reverted to the bow now, though. I guess he's given up on that idea.
That was a pretty clean
cycle,
Phantom Ganon.
Even without a 0 cycle, a pretty much perfect 1 cycle.
Yeah, without BGS, you can't really do better than that.
And showing his disdain by not even up piece of heart.
Oh look, it's Baby Deku.
Just a little guy.
Best part of this game, by the way. It's the Deku Sprout. Look at his little face.
Just so happy. Just happy to be here. And here we are getting the other like hints. Sunsong Grave is dead.
Well, that's actually normally you think not a great hint, but actually,
when you don't have Sunsong.
Yeah, and you know that it's either at the back of Ice Cavern or it's on Burning Cack.
Red going for his adult Hylia now. Going to cheese the lab dive and then immediately find the gold scale afterwards.
Hey, cheating is cool. It's not my fault.
Now all of the stream knows you cheated.
Yeah, and that's cool. I think more people should cheat. Just not in that way.
Dating expert BenjyRees here.
I'll be honest, right? I know that cheating's not good competitively, but it is cool if you do it right.
Yeah, super sliding around Hyrule Fields, always a good watch.
That's why people love the Oakland Raiders. They literally had like the whole thing was cheating is encouraged. You know, if you're not cheating, you're not trying, etc., etc., etc.
And here we are, commentating a competition.
I should clarify, by the way, we do not officially condone cheating. Unofficially.
Silver Gauntlet doesn't condone cheating. Benji might,
no.
But
the annoying thing is that I actually don't. Oh no, the Raiders thing was not a joke, by the way. Like, they literally had a sign above the locker room that is like, cheating is encouraged. Like, you watch old Raiders footage and they're literally like covered in stickum. It's amazing. There's double magic, by the way, for Bread. Well, there's a bit of Sherbet Land going on. I think that was in the fishing.
Yes, I believe his Kakariko theme is Sherbet Land.
I rate that.
Now, where do you go from here? Personally, it's Fire Temple for me. It's a clearable dungeon.
Yeah, I'll be honest. As much as I hate it, it would be Fire Temple.
Believe me, it's my least favorite dungeon as well, but always follow progress, if not nothing else.
Oh. Okay, guy. And that is Bolero.
I guess he's read our minds.
By the way, Dastar, Bread picked up the iron boots. And Bread is going to buy that Goron tunic.
Yep, it makes sense. It's not exactly a huge time sink, and if you're not confident with the heart fire, there's no point trying to save the extra 20-30 seconds. Especially when it may end up losing you 2 or 3 minutes.
Just looking through the note sheet, I can see that fire arrows is marked as, I don't know. I definitely remember them being picked up, I just can't remember where. But it was quite early on.
Hey, that's about as much as I remember as well. Although the DNS on the computer has decided it doesn't want to do a thing anymore, so I don't have an up-to-date tracker anymore.
By the way, excellent choice of music here for the maybe not thematically appropriate for Fire Temple.
It's certainly less religiously insensitive.
Yeah, this is the it's the Lost Woods theme, basically, from, I can't remember what the official name is, from Link to the Past.
I believe it's called that. That's where the name Lost Woods comes from, Link to the Past, along with about 50% of Ocarina of Time. It's all copied from the past.
All Zelda games are basically the same, right?
Except Spirit Track, because it had trains.
Choo-choo. Just in case you weren't sure what a train sounded like.
Thank you for the update.
Hey, I know what the government's done to places that aren't London, and it's generally cut off the trains.
Yeah. In another year's time, it'll be a rarity to hear.
So just a small key in the boss key loop.
Which may still well be required. One key alone is still very important in Fire Temple. Until you...
Yeah, if there's...
Oh, the maze, at least. Per maze.
I was going to say, if there's not a small key here, then we lodge... There is a small key here. Well, still.
Every key's important up until you pass the bow check, really.
Yeah, we do have everything we need to complete Fire, so...
Yep, especially now that they've gone and bought the tunic.
We fully expect at some point... Well, actually, we may not see it, but we could well see, if we do find a path in for Volvagia, we're expecting it to be Gerudo Valley, with an outside of outside chances that it's Dodongo's cabin.
Yep, that was the wallet, wasn't it?
That was. Proper Dodongo skin wallet.
Unfortunately, a Dodongo skin wallet isn't particularly fireproof. It's already been proven that it doesn't survive a bath in lava. I've just taken it into the lava temple.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's only his feet that go in the molten rock.
Nothing in the bomb wall.
Oh, and that key was very important. without the hammer loop, we would be locked out at this point. Not taking any chances and killing those keys now. They can pose an annoyance on this ride up in the elevator, as if you get hit, there's a decent chance it knocks you off the block entirely.
Yeah, and I have seen people without a tuning burn because the keys knock them off that block, and it just always feels bad.
However, side hop twice when you enter the room, and run straight, and you should be able to side hop to the block without launching the keys.
I see that Codinome's not taking Roger Federer's retirement very well.
You are playing the tennis though. Not as smooth a cycle for Silent. Red did manage to get that bomb jump in the block push room in fire very quickly.
Yeah. Oh, it's easy to forget that logically you need a strength to get up here. We do have that strength, and again, logically does not mean actually, because everyone at this level can bomb jump.
We are getting pretty deep into fire without a boss key.
And you hate to see it.
Not too much. It's an early fire temple, so trying to do deep fire. Honestly,
no, it doesn't.
Prefer having the big key high up if we've got a lot of the game left afterward, because it forces me to do fire. Because if I have the choice, I will immediately not do deep fire and lose the seed if anything's there.
Well, that's the thing. Put the bus key at the entrance and don't put anything else in fire temple. Easy.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the key on the doormat is the optimal fire temple, as in 0 fire temple.
Hover boots also making that room a lot easier.
Yes, and this room.
Honestly, hover boots are just nice.
Yep. Well, there's a reason that most of the vanilla speedruns focus around getting the hover boots as early as possible. Although most of those reasons are banned in these settings. Now where is Gnome going? He's not planning. He's going to the fairies. I was hoping he was going to try and farm 180 rupees.
I mean, he could do. It's probably not the most optimal use of his time.
No.
But we haven't seen these, I think, so you never know. You might end up with 200 rupees.
Or more choose.
Never going to say no to choose.
Both players are entering fire with the Scarecrow song. I know I have been burnt by forgetting to get the Scarecrow before entering. And it's very...
I'll tell you what. Yes, good job you've got it.
Exactly. So anyone with the bingo squares, keep an eye out for Big Key on Hammer Chest or Pierre.
Yeah. With no long shot currently that we've seen so far as well. No chance of the pixel shot either.
Definitely not. The long shot can't be that deep into logic.
Yeah, we know it's before. We know it's before Shadow and before Spirit.
It's before Shadow, and we know it's before the completion of Spirit. Only 3 checks in Spirit that can't be long shot.
Oh yes, of course, yeah. but we can't get into Adult Spirit yet because we haven't found a second strength.
Yep, there's still plenty of game left to play and plenty of places left to check, though. And don't worry, everyone, we will be going into all of them.
Thrills. By the way, don't be me, and who once momentously failed a Triforce Blitz Seed because I forgot that this chest existed.
Compass chest.
Yeah.
It is... Oh, well, there's our second strength. Speak of the devil.
What would you call those? The mint green gauntlets?
No, they're still silver. They've just been painted.
And, of course, you know the bit. If you are a subscriber to the Silver Gauntlets, you are legally required to post them in chat.
Oh, wait, I am a subscriber now again.
There you go.
Thank you, Dastar, for allowing me to fulfill my legal obligations.
So here's Flare Dancer number 2.
Second one, it's so much nicer when you have the hammer.
Isn't it just?
And the shield. I'll clarify that as well.
That is also true. Although honestly, I just don't. I don't mind targeting them down for the dump slash, but it is nice when you don't have to.
Yeah, as far as the mini bosses in the game that go, they're no style fuss. Or Iron Knuckle. Or Dead Hand even. Dead Hand isn't hard, just annoying.
Annoying.
And did ruin a seed of mine last week by spawning out of bounds.
Yeah, that is even more annoying.
The only mini boss that can beat you by not fighting. The only winning move is not to play.
By the way, you may have seen a little bit of talk about this in chat, but there is one upcoming restream on in a couple of weeks' time. It is the charity crowd control race, benefiting the Trevor Project, with all the great and good involved, and also we've made Tobias and Dastar race. But if you saw how well the last commentary race went, then I know that I'm sure that you know that we're all very excited for this one, in part because it raises money for an excellent cause.
Is this now a Trackers versus Comms charity crowd control race?
Well, because Dastar's moved to tracking.
Dastar's the tracker.
Interesting.
That is right. As far as the races go, I believe they are 1-1 at the moment. Dastar won the salty run back.
Which, by the way, I want someone to create a channel called the Salty Runback that is just like wrestling style for revenge matches. Like, we'll set up some fake beef or whatever, and people can go on it. I think it'd be good content.
I still think we don't do enough weigh-ins for a league.
People carrying around like 4 different coloured N64s.
Red getting... Yeah, a very smooth Volvagia fight there for him.
Yeah, no objections.
The long Baronade being very, very light to him, showing up in any undesirable spots.
Anything on Volve?
Oh, just
I
a
assume
key.
that we knew it was a key.
Yes, I think so. I don't know if I saw Bread check the highest Goron.
No, I don't think he did.
Counting the keys. So there may well be the case that there are two. If you have 0 keys left with 1 there should be 2 keys spare at the end if you do the skip in the Fire Maze.
Again, the whole thing about logically required being different from actually required.
Well, even if you do use that 1 key, there should always be a spare left over.
Yes, because
yeah, I believe that is added in rando rather than vanilla, because otherwise you may be able to lock yourself out.
Yeah, there's not a key on the. There's no key required for the boss key loop.
Yes.
Fortress still foolish.
And chat pointing out that the only thing left to be the path to Twinrova inside Gan's castle is the mirror shield, which is very likely to be the case anyway, but well, theoretically it could be the gold gauntlets inside Gan's castle, or the mirror shield in Light Trial. But that's still got the mirror shield inside Gan's castle. Which wouldn't be an incredibly painful shenanigans, but it could be shenanigan.
Where is Bread gonna go now? I guess probably pick up Burning Cack?
He has the ability to get this long, but I mean, it's either Minuet, it's either Minuet or Suns, and one doesn't change anything, and the other only has 1 check that's already hinted foolish, so
he might be checking the hammer rock on the left side of the maze.
It makes sense, there's no point orphaning it.
There has not been a hint for outside Ganon's castle. So technically, it could be strength 3 inside Ganon's castle for something outside Ganon's castle, I guess.
Yeah, for that mirror shield. Taking it straight to spirits.
You know what? Clear as much as you can. You know that you're going to have to double dip it, but while
as far as dungeons go that you dip without its core item, it is as good as you can get, really. There's only 3 checks that require the mirror shield, and one of those is the boss.
And he can't go into Deku because he doesn't have the Kokiri sword. That we don't have Ruto's letter or the boomerang to go to do Jabu, and or logically Ice Cavern, and we don't have the long shot to clear water, although we can dip the first half of that.
Yeah, you can dip water, but as I was saying, you can clear more of spirit without the item than you can clear water without its item. I wouldn't be surprised that if not enough shows up in spirit, it'll be serenading straight there.
Second lot of gauntlets, by the way, this time on silent side.
Speaking of stuff in spirit, that's a big chest. Or a now useless tunic.
That tunic, by the way, is logically wallet locked.
Correct.
So we could well see King Dodongo path for the wallet.
It's definitely a possibility now. There's only one wallet left that could throw a wrench into that plan. And there's also a 50% chance that even if it is wallet locked, it'll pick the bombs anyway. But the hammer anyway.
Also worth pointing out that with those first 2 checks being items, Child Spirit is hard required.
There was a very high chance that Child Spirit was going to be required anyway, due to the there were 2 keys rather than 1 over there. And there's Ruto's letter, so there's Ice Cavern availability at least. Unfortunately, Ice Cavern's only going to be, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 checks, as we know the song.
Yeah, again, we know the song Suns or Minuet, neither of which unlock anything for us. The thing is, though, if you don't find any other items here, I guess what you do, you probably, I think you probably do as much of water as you can, and then I think ice probably be next on your list.
Well, the first thing that they should do is, after this Forwards Wind back into Gerudo Training Ground, clear the silver block there.
Yes, that's a good point. You could check the toilet if you wanted to.
Yeah, you can check the toilets, depending on if you've counted the keys or not. No, Bread wasn't collecting any of them. And the taking the letter to King Zora could work, because that adds Zora's Fountain into the play. I don't think we've seen a Zora's Fountain glitch. And
no.
Silent
we know that the icy water
to the fans there by using the ice arrows on Volvagia.
They do actually do more damage. Everyone jokes about them being path to Bongo because you get the cool animation, but they do actually do more damage on Volvagia.
Yeah, I'll use them. I'll use them. Yeah, sorry I interrupted you there with my surprise at the ice axe.
No, that is more. You are correct to do so.
Yep. Codename resetting there, as they knew that they weren't going to be able to complete Volvagia. And have to go in for a second try.
Oh,
this is time Bread has already saved by taking those extra 30-40 seconds to go buy a tunic.
Easier to do if you've got the money.
Exactly.
I don't think I can actually finish my bingo card. Rip.
It would be sad for an all dungeons seed to come down to money routing.
But it's one of those things that if you know you've got Fire Temple on the go,
it's got to be in the back of your mind.
Yeah. By the way, happy 2 hours.
Happy 2 hours, everyone. You've made it this far.
Hasn't it flown by?
It's flown by even with lots of the chicken chasseur in the oven waiting for me.
You can go and follow our excellent runners, Codenome_silent and Bread-kun. Their Twitch links are in the chat. Superb trackers, Melqui and Dastar. Our commentary team today, myself and KLO, rocking it on debut. And Sadie is our restreamer today as well. So thanks everyone for your help. Obviously these streams don't happen without our wonderful team of volunteers, and if you want to come and join them, then we are a very welcoming bunch, I like to think. So Yeah, the link I hope will be in chat shortly, and you can check that out. Oh, hello.
There's a Kokiri sword on one side, and Gnome really does need to be careful here. Only quarters of a heart. Getting hit now will cut down the time he has to fight quickly.
So I think that's going to change where Bread goes next.
Yeah, at least that answers the question of what do you do after finishing as much of Spirit as possible.
And that is absolutely, you're going into Deku to find Long Shot, Boomerang.
One of the two. I can't think of much else it could be. But there is one question for Bread at the moment now of, do you lay Furor's Wind?
Oh, and get rid of it at GTG.
Yeah, you're at the top of Spirit, which is quite a bit of a climb once you have got that Mirror Shield. But it does mean 4 checks that become harder to get to.
Honestly, I think they scouted GTG and didn't like what they saw there. So, I'm not against it. Bread is though.
It's 4 checks that it's one thing orphaning 1 check, but we're talking 4 separate chests. I would agree with this play. I'd agree with climbing Spirit again.
Yeah, I think it's quicker than trekking all the way back out here and. New prediction in chat, by the way. Is anyone going to collect Anju's chickens?
Well, dislocationing the boomerang is something that happens painfully often. To everyone. It's the worst casino possible, so I would be hoping for boomerang in Deku Tree.
There's a fairy in a bottle. And I now have Christina Aguilera in my head, and I'm not going to sing it, but I really want to. Tell you what, this silent of the Gorons chap seems to talk quite a lot.
Dastar, we have not found the last path to Volvagia, but the chances are highly likely that it will be a Gerudo Valley to Volvagia. There is the odd chance that it is Tongo's Cavern, or some lovely Tunic logic, depending on what that one bingo. But it does mean that we are guaranteed a path to Volvagia.
But as so far, the Goron Gourmand has been unhinted.
I still don't remember how Long Baronade became a name. Oh yeah.
Long Baronade.
Long Baronade.
Oh my god. We're going to find out Burning Cack is Minuet.
Minuet, so Sunsong is having a chill and ice game.
Nice handy for movement, that, actually getting Minuet.
Yeah, as far as warp zones go, it's one of the better ones.
No, Silent definitely picked up Prelude, because Prelude was...
It was Serenade.
It was Serenade, yeah.
Totem also making the same play. The runners aren't diverging very much at all coming into this sort of mid-stage of the race.
Yeah, there was a bit of divergence early, but they covered each other off quite nicely. And now it just feels like Bread's a little bit further ahead. But obviously, this all very much comes down to where our other key items are.
Exactly. We know that there aren't enough path hints to give us all of the things we need to get to Bongo Bongo. You know, one of them is definitely here, Echo Tree. At this point, it's probably either the long shot or the boomerang. That means that the other one is AWOL and unhinted. I don't believe Silent has changed age since speaking to Dongo's Caverns, though there's a decent chance that he hasn't picked up the song.
I was looking at Bread's side, not Silent's side. So yeah, I guess he hasn't picked up Serenade. Sorry, everyone.
Not that it's going to make too much of a difference until they need to go to Water Temple. Here's a big chest in the Deku Tree. And that's a long shot. It's path fulfilled. Unfortunately, it means that there may be a boomerang anywhere in the seed.
At this point, after you clear out Deku, you're hot-footing it to water, right?
Let's see what else even is there. Yeah, it's progress. It's completable. It's a decent.
We know Well's foolish.
Yep. Chat saying Boomerang and Mirror are the casino items. Highly unlikely. The Mirror Shield is going to be inside Ganon's castle. We have Twinrova is IGC hinted.
Either that or it's strength 3 in there for Mirror Shield right outside the castle. But either way, we've got a pretty good read on where it is.
Yeah, by the time you get to Ganon's castle, there should be very little left in the seat for you to check. So, scope for shenanigans is greatly reduced.
Here's a question. If you're Bread, while you're child, would you go to Zora's Domain, turn in the letter, see what you can find in the first check of Jabu and drop FW?
Yeah, yes, I would. You need to do those steps in Jabu anyway. And with Furora's Wind, you aren't losing any time at all doing that. It also means you don't need to worry about doing the King Zora skip. You need to dip Icy Fountain. I believe we haven't had. You can check. We have not had Zora's Fountain hinted foolish either, so that's another 2 checks in there. Only Icy Waters is dead.
Yeah, you've got the fairy fountain, and obviously just sitting on an iceberg. So here's our first of 3 stone dungeons,
and
it's the Zora's Sapphire.
Yeah, Water Temple's going to be the best play from here, other than if you are already child. And it looks like that's exactly what it's going to do. It's going to head in, turn that letter in, and see what's in the vanilla boomerang chest.
Because who knows? It could just be a vanilla boomerang.
It could. It's the worst vanilla possible, because who dips Jabu?
So obviously we've been Silver Gauntlets was streaming an overwhelming majority of the Triforce Blitz tournament, and in TFB the boomerang chest is turned off as a check because it sucks. It sucks to have to go all the way to Jabu without a boomerang to do 1 check. So it's disabled from having any key items. But no such luck in the rando, in the league.
underwater temple, I'm struggling to think of any play to make other than going fountain and then ice. We're only looking for one item, and that's 6 checks between those 2 areas. And you get Sun Song. I don't think we've seen Wild Graveyard. Did we see Dampy Digging?
I don't think we have. We've not really seen Child Cack because we've not done chickens yet. We know Well is Foolish, which might steer people away from that.
May steer people away from that, but with the number of foolish areas we have and the areas we've already checked and peaked, there isn't really that much else.
Bread's going to check the fountain as a child. $20 skulls is still nothing.
First of the fountain checks.
Songs are hard. Songs are hard. Songs are really hard.
Odin making up some of the time here that he looks to be behind by not going back to GGG. Of course, that's only saving time because we know that. I wouldn't be surprised if those 4 chests in the training grounds will be playing on his mind once he finds out that we're in a Boomerang Casino.
There is Serenade picked up, by the way.
I find it interesting that almost everyone seems to have a slightly different variation of color Jabu. If it's to do with the emulators people use, but Jabu seems sicker in some people's games than others. Roar's wind being laid.
As we suspected it might. Sherlock, we have had the Song Graves hinted, and unfortunately, it is nothing.
Sadie with the prescience here. It cannot be on Sunsong, even if it wasn't hinted, as the Boomerang is on chickens.
So true. Anyway, I thought it was on Dampé Digging. Or, no one checked the Tektite Grotto, right?
Have we even seen the Boulder of Destiny?
No, I don't think we have. And we've also not seen Big Pose.
So you've got Hyrule Field to do. You have Fountain and Ice, Child Kakariko, and yeah, finishing off Market. I can't think of anything else left in the game that isn't already hinted. At least not with the items that we have now.
Good return on investment there, by the way. Pay a bit of money, get 200 rupees.
Only have to physically threaten and assault the dealer to do so. Red's not taking advantage of the weapons grade material Princess Ruto is made out of.
Buns of steel. One time, give me a vanilla boomerang.
At least he hasn't lost any, well, he's lost some time, but it's only about 30 seconds by doing that check.
Nah, I agree with doing it. Like,
yeah,
imagine
100%.
if you went elsewhere and then you dropped FW in the room and just not done the check.
As you said at the very start of the race, one of the nice quality of life things in League settings is everyone starts with Four's Wind, and quality of life setting in Randomizer in general is that you can set one Four's Wind as a child and one as an adult. And there really isn't anywhere to lay Four's Wind as a child other than in Jabu.
Pretty much, no. And yeah, it
Red
doesn't dissipate when you change.
It's following pretty much exactly as we thought. Straight into water, and I wouldn't be surprised if ice is straight after. The seed has been really quite kind with the routing. It's been a quite clearly correct answer each time.
Generally, it seems that like the old adages have held true. The clear your path hints, clear your way of the heroes, and if you're not sure where to go, do progression.
Clear your progression, then clear your waths, then clear density. It really won't have proved anyone wrong on this seed.
Just go where the items are, forehead.
There's Codenham fulfilling his Bongo Bongo path.
That looked like a small key behind the bottom of the wall.
I'm at it. I can normally check the sizes, I can't check the textures. Another 40-to-1 gamble going on at the moment. Only 3 people saying chickens will happen, which is what I am very surprised about in a boomerang casino. And those are the golden gauntlets from Brad's side, sitting in the map chest of Water Temple. So that is the mirror shield confirmed in Ganon's castle.
Well, that's not fun.
And with that, I believe that Light Trial is useless. Only thing it could really have is double defense, and that's not something to go out the way for.
Light Trial could have mirror though, right?
Oh, Light Trial could have mirror. Now that's easily in logic.
OGC could also potentially have a boomerang now.
Is he not a hint? The tracker. I don't want to reset my DNS settings in case it gets me off comms.
Yeah, OGC is a sometimes hint. Yeah, sorry, Dastar, we don't get access to Ganon's castle until we've got 5 medallions, and we can't get 5 medallions until we've got all 3 stones, because that locks down Lockdown.
And Shaynok in the chat there, crushing your dreams of a wallet path to Volvagia.
Oh yeah. Rip.
It's early boss key is unfortunate. That's where you want to see boss key in a go mode water, not when you've still got all the checks in the dungeon left to find a boomerang. It's only ever in the compass chest when you don't need it, isn't it?
It's usually the way it goes. Bread gonna show a central pillar, it looks like.
Yeah, makes sense. I was burnt by not doing central. I was burnt by the last location in central pillar. My last race, so.
I mean, to be fair, it's kind of an easy check to want to last location.
It was the last location in water rather than in the game, but.
Look, you got to do something last.
Yep. And with Water Temple, you've got at least 3 choices of what blast. I believe this is the only one with particular logical difference. So as far as we've seen, this check isn't in logic, I don't believe.
No, because we've not seen 2 wallets and we've not seen a Zorich unit.
There's a key in there. This isn't a case of Water Temple key logic. Second worst of key logics.
Yeah. 30 skulls is still a blue fire bottle.
You haven't defrosted King Zora yet. So it will be easier at this point to just go adult and get it in light trial. Light trial? Ice cavern. Straight to Morpha before either the big key or the Arc Link loop. That's fair play. We'll see whether he goes back into water after beating the boss here.
So missing the insta-grab.
Interesting angle to catch Morpha at, but it worked.
Yeah, honestly, I wish I knew how to do this before I played the game vanilla. So much nicer.
Yeah, I can never be bothered with crouch stabs. Morpha, it's just a matter of get them into a corner and hit the B button.
Just wail.
Yeah. Time-tested methodology of stab it till it dies.
What have you got for us, Morpha?
Vanilla
heart container. Bread-kun apparently just not interested in life.
Guess we'll get to see some shoot the stun action here. Well, if you don't do it now, you're gonna have to do it after ice because Sun Song is still deep in that ice cavern.
Either that or wait, which not a good idea.
And that appears to be.
That is a boomerang.
That is a boomerang on the sun, so it's a good idea to go get Morpha first. And that's not great news for Codenome, unfortunately, as he still needs to finish off this first half of Jabu and do water before he gets to that.
Yeah, it feels like Fred's just building a little bit of separation now.
It's not so much separation, it's the separation they already have. It's just there's the amount of execution or all the item discovery. They could have closed the gap. It's gone now. Pretty clear where every item anyone needs for the rest of the game is. It's just all down to execution now, and Codenome is half a water temple behind.
Yeah, it's not. Hang on. Yeah, obviously Codenome could God root Water Temple, for example, but even then, you know, they're struggling. They're running out of places to make up time. With the IGC hit, it's pretty much go mode for Bread-kun.
one leaves Jabu and enters. Fortunately, this does look like it's not going to be a tracker percent anymore.
No, my dreams are gone.
Yeah. I can't see any reason anyone's going to Ice Cavern anymore.
I mean, at this point, there is literally zero reason to go to Ice Cavern.
Your mirror shield from Go, and you know where the hint's pointing you. Just a matter of Shadow Temple.
Yeah, we're never finding that final path hint. We're never finding that final sometimes hint.
As far as items, as far as dungeons, they're both going to have to do the whole of Shadow Temple anyway. There's no thing you can do to save time, so it's only Execution Codename. Pick up that space.
There's his Aura Tunic, by the way. Codename's actually going to check the Hyrule Field before he goes into water.
Yeah, not anti this play, it's been in logic.
There's your final sometimes then.
Sometimes at least. Silent, you have a horse. Call the Uber.
Trust me, that Uber driver does not have a 5-star rating.
Yeah.
Well, I guess technically you're the driver.
No, you call the Uber and then you have to drive it yourself.
Just bombs. I get what Silent's doing by clearing out those field checks, but I guess obviously with hindsight, because we know where he needs to go. Oh, for a moment I thought he was going to wait for the sun to come up, and that would have been so hype.
It would have been a wild play. Completely the wrong play, but would have been massively paid out with it.
Because that would mean that he could just go mode water. Although actually, maybe by the time he's checked the...
Trackers were 1 for 3 out of their guesses for which stone was which. Sorry, I interrupted you there, go ahead.
No. Fine. I was going to say, by the time he's picked up these back of lake hints, he might actually have a good time of day for it.
You need to be on top of the hill again, though, and I doubt you would be playing Serenade even if it was morning.
Yeah, you definitely just clear water because you know that you need to.
Also, you know that when you inevitably do beat water, it'll automatically set the time of day for you.
100%.
The question here is, how does he root water? Does he do Morphle first, once picking up that boss key, or does he do the Darkling, do the big key check? Does he do Central Pillar? They're all places you can gain or lose time by doing or not doing.
No, we did say this is a place where he can pick time up, but it's picking time on someone who's already. It's not as if they're then going different paths afterwards. He's just going to straight follow Bread.
It's not like Bread had trouble with the Water Temple route. The only thing he did that wasn't required was the Central Pillar, which out of the 3 things I mentioned is the quickest.
here's Baronade.
Very smooth. Very smooth. That's close for a perfect Baronade as you can get, really.
This is pretty slick. That was ridiculously slick.
I've still only ever managed to get that first cycle once. Second cycle I can do consistently, not that first one.
You're doing better than I am. And Silent, having got the boss key, is just going straight to Morpher.
So he will be making up a short amount of time there. And at this point, every little helps for him. Even
And getting the instant grab on Morpher as well.
Everyone check your bingos for that one. Oh, unfortunately,
Morpher, no.
doesn't quite catch him in the corner. And even then, Morpher's re-entered the water at exactly the wrong time. And that's our Morpher quick grab is one of the bingo squares, because I had it on mine.
Here's everyone's favourite owl. Kibora Gibora. Oh, by the way, I've not checked if that's everyone's favourite owl.
No. Talks too much. Red being the first to pick up his Nocturne of Shadow.
Owls are amazing, by the way. Just side note.
You know they have cylindrical eyes?
Did know that. And you know that they don't poo.
I did know that, because someone brought in an owl pellet to my primary school. Had a nice time finding all the dead things. Do you know if you look into an owl's ear, you can see the back of its eye?
Ooh, that's cool. Did not know that.
There you go. Never say Silver Gauntlets isn't an educational stream.
To be fair, if you look through my ear, you can probably see right out the other side. There's not a lot in there.
Odino making up his small amount of time. Immediately going for shooting the sun. Got the Fror's Wind, Laden Jabu.
And there's his banana.
Let's see, what time does Bread enter? 2:38:03. Stick that in a notepad.
Because we know where Mirror Shield is going to be, Bread can pretty much go mode this.
Yep. Fortunately, it is go moding Shadow Temple, which just Shadow Temple.
You never know, we might not need to go to the back. This is the wrong region.
Which is the wrong region, sorry?
This is Termina Field music.
Yeah, it's not quite as menacing as the Shadow Temple, which normally have.
Here's an interesting thing, by the way. I don't think Silent picked up gold gauntlets in the water temple.
He did not. That could burn. Yeah, he went straight for the compass chest before the map chest. It's made up a small amount of time, but that could burn him in the long run. Big chest here on right hand. More bombs. So, yep, chat saying that at very much the same time.
I promise I didn't see that by the time I said it.
Still 8 chances for it not to be strength 3 locked. So it's not an insignificant chance that it's not in light trials, so
Bread cheating his way through the truth spinner.
Shinnok saying Silent might get stuck in a strength 3 casino. I think if it comes down to it, it won't be a very long casino. Bread. The gap Bread's got so far. There really hasn't been much separating them as far as routing goes.
No, it's kind of interesting because I'm not quite sure how Bread got himself 5-6 minutes ahead. It just sort of happened.
Optimization of routing, really. They did the same things. In the early game, it was slightly different orders. One did Zor's Domain, while one did Gorn City Child. When you route in Child Gorn City and when you route in Zor's Domain, each one can add a minute or 2 of time trekking there. So there's plenty of little things where you can lose 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, just in optimization as opposed to where you're going or how you do it.
And it's interesting because in the early part of the seed, Silent picked up the hammer quite early. It felt like there were a few bits he had that Bread didn't, but Bread was able to kind of make those up and get his nose in front. Also, we're speaking like this is a foregone conclusion, which it isn't.
It isn't. As we said, there are plenty of things where you can lose 30 seconds, 60 seconds, 90 seconds, and that goes for execution too. A couple of unfortunate falls in Shadow. There's 30 seconds for you, there's 60 seconds. You don't have double
death
deep
on Bongo.
Twin Rover, a lot of damage.
Oh God, yes.
And the RNG in Twin Rover if it comes down to it too. One is very clearly ahead, but there's plenty of little things to... One's plenty of time, one's a good amount of time ahead, and there aren't really any big things that they could lose time on. There's plenty of little things. Big chest.
Bread was also like...
Chest in Shadow again.
Money.
That is a strength locked wallet for all that matters now.
It's is it a wallet locked wallet? Or tunic locked? Oh, who cares?
I don't think so. It was only a small key. It was a small key in Central Pillar, and the big key was not locked behind any doors. So, even if that key is tunic or wallet locked, it's not going to impact any logic. The Water Temple before.
This is very jaunty music for Shadow Temple. It's weird.
Yeah.
Bread making full use of that free lens, by the way.
Oh yeah. Anytime you have a free lens, I always use it for both that room and for the spinner at the start. I know you can say statistically it's more likely that the bottom left head is where to point it. You can check.
I thought it was even.
I think it's relatively even, but the bottom left has, for some reason, slightly more of a chance.
Also, one of the other quality of life changes.
Ones that matter.
Yeah, free for all, so you can dip into the shadow pot room nice and easy.
Yep, that's an extra. Well, I was about to say that's an extra 20 seconds you're saving, but really it depends on how nice the keys are to you. Only blank. I'm also getting a relatively slick Baronade.
Yeah, not quite the perfection that Bread-kun achieved, but still pretty good.
He was never going to get the perfection. Oh, he was never going to get exactly the perfection due to running out of sticks, but having that Kakiri sword has definitely helped. Jump stabs. Slightly slower than just jump slashes, but...
So here's the thought: if you find some big chests here in Shadow, do you open them? You know that you don't need to, but
Yes,
could find big Goron sword, could find double defense.
Defense. Both are going to be helpful, and there isn't really that much left in the game when it comes to big chests. What? Stone of Agony. I've already found Nere's Love, I've already found the Ice Arrows. 2 slingshots. Bow.
Couple of bows.
1 bomb bag.
With the fairy that he picked up in the GTG strength block room, Bread doesn't feel the need to do the shortcut, which, fair enough.
Yep.
And because he's got a small key spare, does not have to go into the back of Shadow.
Exactly. And as far as we were saying about finding double defense or big Goron sword, those are just big chests that you see. You don't go looking.
No, absolutely not.
You've seen Bellstrats.
What? Oh my god.
You never
Is that
seen
intentional?
Bellstrats before?
Genuinely not, and my heart was in my mouth for a second.
Yeah, this is a older, trickier strat that is 100% being done for swag stream. Guarantee it. Because standing on the back of the boat and making the Stalfos walk off the boat is so much easier than this and achieves the exact same goal.
Or you can just do a bit of training and kill them. Slick.
Shooting the statue, he's not going in the back, as expected.
By the way, you were timing the Shadow Temple, right?
Yep, I've got my eye on it. New 49, 17. That is 11 minutes and 14 seconds behind.
It's pretty much the entirety of Shadow Temple.
Yeah. Entirety of a go mode shadow.
No ice arrows from Bread.
See, this is why you use the lens of truth in this room. Eking away time.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
I think Tobias, if he's still in the chat, can sympathise with me here of getting the one cycle bongo once with the Master Sword, first try, and then never ever again.
It's like, oh, this thing's easy. Oh, maybe
Yeah,
not.
you do it once and then, 3 months later I'm yet to replicate.
Well, that was, again, clean from Bread-kun. The main way that Silent could make up time here was in better execution, but Bread's execution has been impeccable.
Bread's menuing too, keeping the lens of truth in his C items to save those few seconds at a time. I mean, they do add up.
What's your preferred method of spiking the eye of Bongo? Do you go for the hook shot, the bow?
Oh, the bow.
I like doing the spin slash. I feel like I just get it much better. Oh,
Slingshot on lax.
Yeah, I like the spin. I don't know. I find the spin strats easily the most consistent for me.
Yeah. The thing about the bongo strat is it's whatever you find consistent, because lack of consistency is where you end up getting hit.
It's the same for a lot of the strats, actually.
One thing I do note that I do for bongo that no one else seems to do is wear the hover boots. Because
interesting.
Each bong, if you're wearing the hover boots, is much less impactful and it doesn't impact your aim as much.
I feel like I've seen people wear the iron boots for the bongs.
I have not seen that one, but I've never tried it. Ever tested to see if it works. You were pretty much right in that it's exactly the length of a shadow temple Codenum is behind at the moment. And taking advantage of that strength 3 and going straight for the den.
I mean, honestly, checks out. And that's bomb percent. Oh, we've lost KLO. Maybe because we didn't get our yeet timing right. And there's slingshot percent. That is not a big one. Welcome back. You missed bomb percent and sling percent.
Bomb and sling and light trial.
And ...
Not quite bow percent, but that's one of the bows. Remember when we said there's only so many things that can be in big chests? To seed.
Pretty much everything. I guess light trial was bait trial. Shadows next.
It's a good point from chat. We were worried before about Silent being punished for not getting that strength 3. A bit of overdue luck for him that he won't be.
The thing is, while he might make up time in Ganon's castle, he might be tempted to go to the back of Shadow. Looking for
That is
strength
true.
3.
That is going to be weighing on your mind that it's almost a 50% chance that your mirror shield is going to be locked behind an item you don't have.
It wasn't in Shadow Trial.
There's another big chest.
What a surprise.
And there's the mirror. So, leave a go mode for Bread.
Be honest, were you hoping for the final bow?
I mean, I
I was.
wouldn't have said it outwardly, but I would have been amused to have every single remaining big chest be in Ganon's castle.
Yeah, give me the double defense. Give me the Stone of Agony. Give me big Auron sword. Just put it all in there.
Every single check is big all the way up to Spirit Trowel 2, which is the Mirror Shield.
I would very much enjoy that. Speaking of big checks, here is the giant's wallet that we found earlier. One of the little things that I didn't realise was changed in the rando is that it shows you what sort of wallet you've got by the colour of the rupee.
Yeah, that is always appreciated. Although one thing I do note, did we pick up a big key in Spirit?
Yes, it was. Get this. Vanilla. It was in the boss key chest.
Ah, yeah, I remember now. I think this is Metroid music, the Spirit Temple. Sounds Metroid Prime-y.
Hang on, let me set that.
Now this is really the last place Bread-kun lose time. Twin Rover fight.
Twin Rover and then the Climb and Ganon.
Yeah. At least the Climb and Ganon's all down to execution. Twin Rover has a good amount of RNG that you don't get the choice in whether you lose the time or not. Will the witches spend all the time flying directly above your head?
Oof.
He needs to be careful he doesn't have that double defense. One more hit does it.
Got out of there. Nice Tetris on Noboru Knuckle.
3 hearts is not a lot of hearts to start Twin Rover with.
I think he does have that fairy still.
You still have the fairy, okay, it's a bit less of a concern, but one direct hit with an ice beam could well spell curtains without that fairy.
The fairy in the bottle was in GTG behind the strength 2 block.
Ah, of course, they picked it up in another bottle. That's why I didn't recognise it. Just thinking he hadn't been to any fountain.
Which means that we got bottle percent.
We do have bottle
Or
percent.
we located bottle percent. Is there not a Ruto's letterbox on the tracker?
There is. It's the bottle, but you right-click it.
Fair enough. No, I mean on the note sheet.
Oh, no, sheet. Yes, there is, but... Shit. Yes, there is. It's on the right side of key items. Or through the bottle.
Oh, yes, right, I'm with you.
Is that Twin Rover that's moving at Bread?
Could be his low health sound.
And a smooth one cycle there. Very, very slick execution in pretty much all stages of this run from Bread. At least from the
I've
last,
also just
at least from the mid to end of this race.
100%. By the way, I'm a chicken away from bingo. Curse the chickens.
Ugh. Don't worry, maybe Codenum will look for the strength before dipping. GC. And that makes plenty sense from Bread-kun to check the Twin Rover reward, just in case it's a heart refill, and he does get paid out in this case.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as he sees it, it's like, I'm going to pick that up and get the free refill for the climb.
Well, that's the thing about Twin Rover. It's one of the few bosses where you actually need to go search for the item. You have to turn to the left to see it, and I have been burnt by not doing that before. Finishing off a race saying it would be really nice to have Megaton Hammer, this Ganon fight, and Twin Rover was your last boss. Add the hammer.
You resourced the forced to use nut strats instead.
I just went the strat I used in my childhood of the hook shot. Long shot
Nice.
even. A little bit of trouble with the Dino-Foss. I know it's probably the enemy I spend the most time.
I just
Forget
want
the
him to use my.
register.
I want him to use my strats of choice for the Iron Knuckles.
Are you a bomb chew man?
But entirely so.
Although I do have to say I appreciate Brad using the light arrows in anger there. First time I've seen it in a very long while a light arrow hit an enemy that was not Ganon.
Just had it equipped already and was like, sod this. While I'm here.
I don't even know how much damage it does. Not quite. They're
Honestly?
not quite as impactful as the Wind Waker ones. Where anything that gets touched by a light arrow explodes in a bright flash of light.
If you want to know how to kill Iron Knuckles, just power crouch stab by the left knee.
But that it will take practice, because don't ever try it in anger, because you will be hit. Make sure you
Oh yeah,
practice
no,
it.
the first time I tried it I was absolutely destroyed. But that is the strat.
Those two, I'm still stand behind them and wail away till they turn around.
Given that this was an all dungeon seed, just over 3 hours in, happy 3 hours by the way, it's Ganondorf time.
But yeah, this has been a very polite old dungeon seed, all things considered.
You'll never find the light arrows that I left in that cave with that big lizard. Bad news, Chief.
To be fair, everyone else in Hyrule wasn't able to handle a big lizard, so
Oof. Silent misses the one cycle.
two cycle is still perfectly respectable.
Yeah,
And
no shame.
it isn't that much of a time loss. It's not like it's getting slapped off stage. Speaking of one cycles, another incredibly slick performance from Brad.
It's been ruthlessly efficient down the stretch.
I'm talking about, you know, times that Silent could make up some time. I think if anything, Brad's actually stretched his lead with this, with the way he's been facing the bosses.
It does feel like it. And 3 hours, 4 minutes, and just under 40 seconds in. Here's Tanner.
Some nice Diddy Kong music. Yeah.
Is that what it is? It sounded rareware.
It's the boss theme Diddy Kong Racing.
Wait, Diddy Kong Racing has bosses?
Yeah.
They are learned.
You have to race a dinosaur, a giant seal, a cheating bastard of an octopus.
Not that you're bitter or anything.
It's an octopus, it shouldn't be able to spit mines. It's also against the, integrity of the race.
Is it though? Ow.
Bread is 3 hits away from having to redo Ganon though. Although, like he's gonna need it. Yes, the dragon retreats too.
So, get your GGs in.
Red with his glowing hammer to smite Ganon.
Get your GGs
in the chat, everyone.
That is, what, 3 hours, 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Bread is today's winner.
And Silent has paused. I don't believe he will be finishing this. Or maybe he will. This room has crashed for me.
So probably about a little over 10 minutes between them in the end.
Yeah. Somewhere between 10 and 12, I'd have said.
It does look like both competitors will be joining us for a brief post-game interview.
Speaking of, welcome in. GG's Bread.
Hello, thank you. I could barge in the room just because I have the commentator role here.
Amazing.
Privileges.
Yeah, GG's.
How did you find it?
Well, at least I knew it was AD out the gate, but it also didn't feel exactly great when I've beaten. I've got 4 medallions. I don't have any tools for any of the 3 stones to get in the shadow, so I'm this is a bit of a problem.
Yeah, I do remember saying, if it's going to be an all dungeon seed, you want it to be hinted, and you want the hint to be at the temple of time.
Yep. At least there's that. At least you know out the gate, or it's not like it's a hinted AD for Son of Storms. You had to go, oh no, is there something in the well? Oh no. It's either a great call or an awful call. Either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the hit. Sorry, go ahead, Kayla.
Go ahead, Benji.
I was going to say, I feel like the hints generally were reasonably useful.
Yeah. I mean, Lost Woods just straight up for a bomb bag. That's it's nice. Was there a 5th hint, or was it a double path for something?
We didn't
If
see
there
the
was
hint.
a 5th hint. Yeah, we haven't
didn't
seen
see
it.
the hint. We didn't see the hint, but we know that it has to be Rudo Valley for Volvagia. Because there was only one unhinted item that was required for boss. It was the hammer.
Yeah. You
And
know,
since
after
we had a Dodongo hint, it means that there will be a hint for every other boss. If we're getting silent in now, welcome in.
GG's.
hello,
GG's.
GG.
Oh. Oh my god, I'm tense.
Yeah, it didn't come down to long between you. You were tracing each other's steps for
Wow.
about the time you entered Gerudo Training Grounds. You both followed the exact same path. Just unfortunately, one of you was 5 to 10 minutes behind the other.
Uh, that's awful to hear, but okay. I tried my best. I know Brad has a better execution than I do, so it came to that when I see the seed was jet and I have to rush everything.
But yeah, there was no one decision. There was no major decisions that split you up. I mean, if you put a gun to my head, I wouldn't be able to tell you where Bread made up the time.
Yeah, that's okay. I knew I have a strong opponent.
This came down to just AD and basically having to. I don't know. I feel like when it's AD, I kind of have to clear everything because there's so many more required items for the seed now, and chances are some of them are not going to be hinted. So I just got to start kicking open
Yeah,
everything I can, looking
yeah.
for it.
In the last few minutes, I was searching for the last path, hoping to get another path to spirit. And that way, I knew if Strain 3 was required or not, because it's the only thing that I was worried about. But everything else is just rush through it, and bring it in.
Yeah, generally, even though we knew that we were going to have a lot of unhinted items, they kind of put themselves in relatively nice places. In that,
Yeah.
generally they were just in or right outside the progression dungeons.
Yeah. I thought the most of the items would be just near or most likely in the way of the dungeons or inside itself. So I start rushing it as soon as I get a way to it. So once I get the bomb bag, I thought, okay, I can rush DC, but if I get a strength, I can go DC and forest. And since I already have 5 hearts and a bottle, I can rush through fire. So I can get 2 free songs, and then just rush through the AD. And then I found the Kokiri Sword and Spirit, hoping that I could get something. I was looking for the long shot so I could beat uh Deku and Jabu in one single transition. But when I got to long shot in the Kokiri, Sword and Spirit and long shot and Deku 3, I said, okay, after beating Water, I'll find my boomerang. And if it's somewhere between the checks that I skipped, uh, I lost. So
Yeah.
basically,
We were very worried for you towards the end, as you didn't have the strength 3 while Bread did, as you both took slightly different routes in Water Temple, and the last strength was on the map chest.
map
But
chest.
Yeah, the
Wow.
one where you dive all the way down and come up. Yeah, I went there first because I usually don't go for the compass chest immediately. Usually how I route it. And the strength 3 was like great. All right, I'm just gonna rush light trial, and yeah, no spirit, no mirror shield in light trial.
was it
No
four?
mirror shooting light trial.
Was it
Yeah,
four
yeah,
big
you do
chests?
not.
Was it 4 big chests in
It's like
light
3 or
trial?
4
Three.
big chests. Yeah, it's 3.
Yeah, there was the third bomb bag, the third
Bow?
slingshot, and the second
Oh,
bow, all in
wow.
there, all obviously completely useless.
All
Yep.
bait.
All means.
And it was
Yep.
just sitting there in water trial in the end. I think the only really difficult kind of out of the way items were probably scales were kind of easily to pick up. So was the
Yeah.
first hook shot with that insane spawn pretty much right above it. which was nuts. It was just kind of the hammer in the crate and the magic that we picked up first in Zora's Domain. But both of you picked those up very early in the seed for a couple of places that are easy to leave behind.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I was more thorough just because the whole AD thing, and also the spawn point made going through Zora's Domain easy call to make. You spawn right next to it. You just do a jump slash and land on the bed on the little spot and go in. It's a really quick 2 checks to do.
Yeah, I thought the same process. And when I got to Adult Lake and find Magic 2, I said, okay, the magic was not something I could even imagine that would be here. And you would be end up with the magic no matter what. So,
Yeah.
but the spawning river made it easier to get the Zora's the main one.
Oh, one thing that we do have to bring up is Bread bringing out the bell strats in Shadow.
I had to do the bell strat. I've been practicing it.
Just remembering you're on restream for a second.
You have to do the bell.
Uh, I luckily I didn't go to the things that I'm training because I'm still awful at it. So I kind of glad that I didn't have to enter eyes or do the shieldless jump in river because I'm still training those 2 tricks. But the other ones I still manage my way to train it. But well, I'm tired. I didn't see myself winning this one, but coming through the end, thought, okay, I executed quite well for my state because I came from 2 seeds in a row, uh, back to back, one in Friday, one yesterday, and I didn't have any time to sleep, so I'm fully awake by 33, 34 hours straight.
Jeez. It's
Well,
not ideal.
No, it's not.
being in that state, you performed very well. There weren't any mistakes in routing. Both of your executions were really no comments can be made about it. Bread, particularly doing good performances on the bosses, 1 cycles on everything I can think of. But yeah, it was a great performance from both of you.
I mean, for an all dungeon seed to be
Yeah.
done in a little over 3 hours is it's
Yeah,
pretty
and I
good
think
going.
yeah, and I think I just entered GC, so I would find my mirror shield in about 4 or 5 minutes, and just beating spirit would be about the same time. So
You'd already done
yeah.
all the way up to the vanilla boss key, so
yeah, I thought leaving Forest Wind there, so I could go back quickly, but forgetting to do it make my routing a little bit better in water and shadow. So I kind of glad that I forget to do it, and I was climbing my way to the top so I could leave for Aurora's Wind. And once I had the shield, since I had Requiem, I just go bit spirit, enter again, go back with for Aurora's Wind, and just fight Ganon. So it would be a shortcut. I think I had pretty much 10 to 12 minutes more in my seed.
Yeah, I
sure.
dropped mine at the bottom. I didn't climb the tower. You would have found the mirror shield faster just because light trial and shadow trial a lot longer than forest and water trial.
And since I
You'd
don't
probably
have
just go straight there.
Yeah, if since I don't have strength 2, I always route spirit, forest, and water, so I would get a little bit faster.
Hmm.
Well, your
But
execution was pretty much equal, I would say. You were it was 11 minutes between you in entering Shadow Temple, and I would say you were about 11 minutes apart at the end. So, Silent,
yeah,
your execution was just as good.
yeah, I think the most time loss that I had was Volvagia, so, since I mistakenly dropped some bombs and didn't hit it, and then I had to pull out the ice arrow strats to deal more damage to compensate. But even though
We loved the ice arrow strats, to be fair.
Just so you know, chat loved the ice arrows, so it was worth it.
yeah,
The
yeah,
one time they're actually useful in the scene.
And since I got it really early, so why not use it? It's there. But anyways, it was a great seed. I was enjoying it a lot. But I was about 2 hours and 15 minutes in, and I was just looking at the race time since I didn't know if Bread was already too much for her head or if it was close, because the last one was really, really close. So I didn't know what to expect this one. But anyways, GG's, Brad. Congrats for the win. And good luck for the next match. I think I'm gonna get myself some sleep.
Yes, please do.
I think we should definitely
You should definitely
let you get to
sleep.
bed.
This seems like a good place to do all the thank yous and bits. So first of all, thank you so much to our runners who put on an excellent display out there. You can follow them both there. You see the links in chat. Codenome_silent and Bread-kun both put up some top quality Zooters today. Our wonderful trackers, Melqui and Dastar. Our commentators, myself and KLO, who crushed it on debut, and Sadie, the restreamer, as well. Thanks everyone for your help, and thanks for allowing us to restream your race. It was good fun, and best of luck in the rest of the league.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.